take
Call
it.
members and what?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not,
But
yeah,
it's on
okay.
color, so it's a little easier.
Go ahead and call the
Right.
meeting to order.
Yes.
And before we get started, Matt had an appointment, so he could not make it, and if we could make a motion to excuse. Okay. Approval of the February 10th minutes. Do we have a motion to approve?
The approve as stated.
Okay, let's breathe. Get out of here. Don't make me have an anxiety attack. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, financial report?
Okay, quickly, quickly. Okay, I'll go quick. Okay, January for this month, we ended up collecting $4,299.16. That is actually, if you want to go over to the third sheet, that January is the best we've had since 2009. In 2009, we had a little over $5,300. Then we slowly decreased 10, 11, 12, 13. We've come back up to $4,299.16. So that's a good sign for the month of January. Moving on down, so the net collections is $60,865.96. And then you can see what we've paid out so far, which is $36,479.40. We still have 3 commitments, and that leaves us commitments at $25,750. And then what I did on your 4th page, I tried to break it down a little bit further. I took your Facebook, your Google AdWords, your electronic billboards, your festivals, and miscellaneous. If you look at Facebook, we budgeted $10,000. We've spent $4,250, which leaves us with a balance in that account of $5,750. Google AdWords, we budgeted $15,000. We've spent $4,479.40. That leaves us with a remaining balance of $10,520.60. Our electronic billboards, that 4th one we've committed to it, but it's not actually went up. Each billboard is $8,750. We've done 3 so far, but we've got the 4th coming in May. So we budgeted $35,000. As of May, we will spend the whole $35,000. So that leaves you 0 in your billboards. For your festivals and events, you can see we've spent $1,500 for Pumpkin Fest. We've got $2,000 for Winter Wonderland and $100 for the February blog post. We budgeted $25,000. You've spent $3,600, which that leaves you with $21,400. Then under your miscellaneous, we have budgeted the $15,000. You guys voted to put that to the Smoky Mountain Center. So you've spent $15,000 in that account, so you have 0 left. I hope that helped a little bit. Okay. So I'll be glad to entertain questions, or if you guys are okay, a motion to accept whatever you'd like.
I move to approve the financial statement as.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to the subcommittee reports. And Mike with finance and budget.
I have no report of any
Okay.
summers.
I think he has something. And moving on to application review.
Just to kind of give you guys a heads up, we will be having 2 more coming for the month of March. The Taste of Scotland has contacted me, and also the Franklin Daybreak Rotary is looking at doing a River Fest. So we'll have 2 more that'll be coming for March. That's all I have.
Moving on to new business. Update on Discover Franklin.
Want me to go ahead?
Would you like to go ahead?
Okay. Do you want to enter to the screen? I've got several slides to go through. A lot of it is numbers, updates on the Google AdWords, so I'll try to go through it as quickly as possible and not go with a bunch of numbers. So. Okay, we started running the Google AdWords, like we mentioned in past meetings, in February with a $1,000 budget for February, and we are currently still running with $2,000 in the budget for your March Google AdWords. We've used all the keyword research that JB Media put together for us, and we've got 2 campaigns running, which is outdoor and tourism. And we are then tracking and doing measurement on our campaigns, and I'm going to get to that. But we've got 2 conversions set up, so when somebody goes to a keyword from Google and end up on the Discover Franklin website, if they visit 2 pages or more on that site, it triggers a conversion. And then if they visit the event calendar, it will trigger a conversion. So I have the numbers on those, and it's working really well. So the second page in your handout, I know you've got the handout in front of you. Here's our performance measurement. We have about 4,500 visitors this past month. This is all February numbers. Over 10,000 page views, and 84% were new visits. So the traffic went really well for February, and that's when we started our Google AdWords. January, we were at 7,200 page views and 2,900 visits. So we are up from January, and with warmer weather coming, we will expect these numbers to go up every month. The location of our visitors, number 2 was Charlotte this go around. It's always been Atlanta. Atlanta came in at number 4 this time, so we've got a lot of traffic visiting the site from Charlotte, which I thought was interesting. Referrals, number 1 referrals is Facebook. It has been every time, so you'll see that in all your packets that you get. It's the mobile Facebook, so mobile users on their phones visiting Facebook, they see the site, they're seeing the Facebook page and then going to the website. So it's holding true at number 1, and then of course number 2 is Facebook on desktop. And I thought I pulled the device this time to show you where the traffic's coming from, what device they're using. And 2,800 are coming from a desktop, so that was number 1. And mobile was 991 out of our visits. So most of our traffic is coming from a desktop, but still mobile being number 1 with Facebook, which I thought was interesting. And then I wanted to point out the traffic overall when we got the Google Analytics on the site when we took over in July, around the July timeframe. And the time we got the analytics on the site, it was around August, October timeframe. So I showed October 2013 to current in February, and if you can see the huge spike, I put an arrow so you can see, we had a large spike in traffic. So I will be very curious February next year to see what our traffic is and look at the trend as a whole. And again, that's when we started our Google AdWords. So we are definitely driving traffic to the site from the Google, which I think is wonderful. And again, it's 83% new visitors. So we're driving a lot of new traffic to the site. Okay, I want to explain the goal completions and how we're tracking the measurement from our paid versus non-paid keywords. Like I said, we're doing 2 conversions right now, which is if they go to the event calendar, that tracks a goal for us. And if they go to 2 or more pages on the site, that triggers a goal. So we can see once they go from Google AdWords to the website, we've got some tracking in place to see their activity on the site. We will add more goals and conversions, especially when the summer months come, and track some different trends. So what I have on the screen here right now is the total goals completed with non-paid and paid keywords. And you'll see we had 1,144 goals completed total. 1,000 of those they went to 2 or more pages on the site, and 144 they went to the events calendar. So that's the total numbers. And just as a side note, away from conversions and goals, the Google AdWords itself brought 1,452 clicks from the outdoors campaign and 549 clicks from the tourism campaign. So again, driving a lot of traffic, and the outdoors campaign is doing really well. It's spending the budget every day, and we actually took some of the tourism money and put it in outdoor so that we could balance them out, and they both are completing their daily budget, which we kind of found that good spot where we're spending all the money every day, which is what we want to do, so we're driving traffic to the site. Okay, just to show you the conversions that were completed from the events calendar from paid keywords, that was 46. And we have top 10 keywords that you have in your packet. You can look in detail. But like map of North Carolina, mountains, Franklin, North Carolina, gem mining, NC mines, that's some of our keyword searches, which will be valuable information moving forward with content writing and whatnot to see how people are actually searching. And then for the 2 or more pages on the site, 377 from our paid keywords went to the website, played around, clicking 2 or more pages, looking throughout the site. And then there's a list of the top 10 keywords that you can look at in your packet. And that just gives us more details on our search terms, of what people are using to search Franklin or the mountains. Gem mining is a good one. The Dragon Deals Gap was a number 2 on this list, so all that is good information for us moving forward with our Google.
What's number 5 if I could
Yeah, I was
ask?
just gonna ask that.
Google has a not set, for paid and non-paid. Because we're paid, we get more information, but there'll always be a not set where Google doesn't release that information. So we can actually see a whole lot more than somebody who doesn't have Google AdWords. They'll just see not set or non in the number 1 search. So, and that's something I can do more research on, but it's a Google thing where they're not going to provide some information, or it's just a not set on the key terms.
What was the number 5?
Sorry, let me go back. Okay, so that takes care of the Google and the tracking and all of that. Are there any other questions? It is going really well. That's the big thing. If we're spending the money, traffic is going to the site, and we've seen an increase in traffic for February, which is wonderful with not a lot of tourism. So hopefully spring and summer we'll see even a bigger jump, and then of course bringing tourism into town. Okay, I've mentioned several times, every time that I've come to a meeting, I've mentioned doing email marketing. So I just want to quickly go over the figures from DNET that I was able to get, and then this may be something you have to vote on or put on the agenda for your next meeting. I would like to make one of our tracking for Google and all of our activities we do to get people to sign up for email marketing, to get a newsletter or something to that effect. So we have a contact us form, and people are filling out the contact us form. Summer and I do get the inquiries, and they're quite interesting.
Yeah, you get some good ones.
We do, but people are, gym mining's a
Gym
hot
mining's a
topic.
big one.
Fishing, hiking, people are just wanting to ask about the area. So that tells us people are definitely going to contact us form and asking questions. I'd like to have a button, add it to the bottom of that form, sign up for email newsletter. Then we can collect data and collect email addresses, and then in the future send them some email marketing. DNET can do this for us. You have an account with them. The cost on it to set up the contact us form on the current website and get that going is $75. And then they also have email marketing solutions. They have a Create Send that you can add to your contract as well. And it's $25 to configure that. So what happens is when somebody clicks the I want to receive email marketing from Discover Franklin, the email is automatically stored in your Create Send account. There's no manual labor involved. And then we can collect those email addresses. And once we feel like we get to an appropriate list of 100 more or 50 or plus, which I think will grow very quickly, we can talk about doing some email marketing. They have a pay-as-you-go plan, which is really nice when you're just getting started. It's on this bullet point. It's $0.015 per address and then $10 per campaign. So if you had 1,000 emails and then plus the campaign, you're looking at $25 a campaign. So maybe that's something you could think about budgeting for when the next fiscal year comes around and the time we build our addresses. But I definitely think it's of value to use the website to collect that information and then in the future start sending them emails. And then Facebook, I always give you an update on Facebook. As always, it's doing incredible. We are at, as of 5,905 fans, probably close to 6,000 as of today. Our highest liked ad is the one that I've got on the screen here. It reached 620,000 people. I targeted Asheville, Charlotte, Durham, Raleigh, Wilmington, North Carolina, or Wilmington, and then Knoxville. I've been playing with the targetings. I, of course, always target Atlanta, but this one was the top performing ad that I'm showing you. And ages 30 and plus, outdoor recreation, Blue Ridge Parkway, nature photography, biking, Appalachian Trail, those were my interests that I target. And we got 80 likes, 80 total actions and 64 page likes just from this ad. So that's just an update on the Facebook. We're spending the total budget there. We don't ever have any money left over. Facebook will gladly spend the money, but it is working. We're gaining lots of likes each month. And that leads me to Q&A. If you have any questions, I know Matt Bateman had some questions about the website, but he's not present to discuss those. I did have a chance to review all those questions, and it was not something that I could answer without any board decisions. So if summer
Yeah,
wants to
Jessica-
ask those.
Yeah, Jessica, I reached out to Jessica, Matt had emailed some questions, and he couldn't be here tonight, but, I don't know if this is something you guys wanna look at tonight, or if you wanna wait and bring it back up at the, I about said the April meeting when Matt is here. It's completely up to you guys. But Jessica and I both kind of felt like some of the questions that were presented, the whole board needs to have a say whether yay or nay. That's up to you guys. If you want to discuss it tonight, we'll both be glad to, or if you want to wait till April, we can get Matt here, and then I can kind of, unless Jessica just wants to come back, I can be the connect. So it's up to the board.
Well, you have to have the entire board. If
I
there's
think
gonna
some
be
of
any
these need
action,
to,
right?
yeah, I think some of these the board needs to look at.
I say you just wait till everyone's
Yeah,
here.
if we
You
can get a
good?
list.
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
glad. I've
Yeah.
got it. I
we
would
can
just forward it.
study it.
Yeah, I'll put it in our next April packet if you guys are good with
Great.
that.
Okay.
Yep, and so whatever you decide, just there was nothing that we couldn't handle on that list, just send us what you want to do, and we can make it happen, so. Other than that, that is all I have.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to fund request for the Franklin Folk Festival. Linda?
This is our 11th year of the Franklin Folk Festival. It's the second time that the Book Heritage Association has asked the Main Street program to partner with them. Last year was our first attempt at it. We felt it worked out really good. We each have things that we take care of. The festival is up at Tartan Hall. We've got First Baptist Church. We use the basement of that. We close Main Street. We have a lot of things going around on this building. Phillip Street is full of crafters, and of course, Main Street is full of crafters. So the Folk Festival has grown to be the second largest festival. Pumpkin Fest is the most well-attended, and Folk Festival runs in right behind it. We do not take a gate, so it's very hard to say how many people attend, but we guesstimate at about 3,500, and I think Pumpkin Fest is probably between 4,000 and 4,500 by now. The fire department joined us last year, and they want to join us again. They want to increase what they do up there. They had the budget brigade, and they're going to do some more different things this year. So that's pretty much what we do. We, of course, advertise away from here. We've been advertising in the Georgia Mountain Laurel, and that has worked very well for each festival, specifically because it hits that northern Georgia, Gainesville, the north part of Atlanta, and of course around Frederick County.
That's a very nice magazine.
It really is, and some of the merchants are using the Georgia Mountain Laurel, and they've put Ruby in there, so they've worked really good. $1,500 is what we're asking for. We had some carryover from last year, and of course we will, that is in.
And that's
That's
down
in the
from
budget.
last year, because last year we ended up we gave you $1,750, so that is.
Right,
that's
and
good.
the money we get, of course, is from the crafters. The demonstrators don't pay a fee, but the crafters pay, and the food vendors. So that's where our
Anything additional?
anything new, they're still working. We have met every month since July of last year, so we are still working on some new aspects for the Women's Day.
Thank you. Is there any other questions for Linda? Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, hold on that.
Okay, moving on to the invoice for the site art hosting.
Okay, hopefully this won't take long. What this is Jessica and I had been discussing this site dart hosting, and if you'll remember back 3 or 4 months ago, we ended up paying for a silver hosting package. We ended up paying $479.40, and that also provided a specific amount of credits. Well, in doing the Jessica, what this was for, it was the description of it. It's launched new WordPress site, made changes to their site to make it live, tested for contract, and launched FTDA-6. I'm not certain what that is. But the total amount is $6.25, and Jessica and I kind of discussed, we've got to take it from somewhere, and she said that she was comfortable, if the board was, if we wanted to take it from Facebook.
You said $6.
It's $6.25.
I make a
But we
motion
have
that
to-
we take it from Facebook.
Sorry.
Second. All in favor? Any opposed?
I'm gonna have to go.
Okay, see you, Josh.
Thanks, Josh. Okay, moving on to, ooh, this is going to.
I know, we're good.
Can't breathe. Okay, discussion on a blog for the Discover Franklin NC website. And I just had a suggestion. I know last month we went back and forth of where to take the money, and I know we've talked about it before, but like with Josh being in the marketing company as well, him suggesting that we do one blog a month is basically what's needed. I don't see why this board cannot do that and save the money. But that's just a suggestion.
And I would be glad to do that for you guys. If we wanted to do one blog a month, I'd be more than happy to write it. We'll approve it. I can send it to the chair for an oversight. If she's good with it, I can send it to Jessica and post it, but that's up to you. That'd save us a little bit of money and it keeps us in-house. And it's a service I'm offering for free.
And if you look at
Sold?
the blog,
Here we go. Come on.
but seriously, to save
That was the
money
word,
would be
you were
just
free.
weird.
Good for me.
I mean, we meet once a month. There's no reason we can come up with a blog once a month and do it ourselves without having that cost.
What we've got, and I've passed out in front of you guys, you've got two things. One, the blog post that was done for February. You've got that, and you've also got a rather
Where is that?
lengthy.
Is that this one?
You've got a rather lengthy package. They've started to come in with various people wanting to do blog posts. This one's actually from Clayton, Georgia, if you guys wanted to look over it. But that's just a service I'd be willing to offer the board just to kind of help us all out. And like I said, you're going to keep it in-house, and you're still going to have oversight with your chair.
I just think, I mean, that's something we discussed before about doing a blog and then nobody wanted to, and I thought this, you know, I just feel like that's something we can do in-house.
Are you comfortable?
I am. Josh had actually sent me some really good information when we were discussing last month about different aspects of blogging. And I'm a history major, political science major. I have a master's degree. I'm good with writing. And one a month, I can handle one a month. Now, if we were going one a week, we'd have a problem.
Right.
We'd probably be having to go outside.
Yeah.
But one a month, I can handle that for you guys.
For $100, I mean, I think we spent $100 last month for one blog, which,
Is this
I'm
the,
sorry,
that's
and it's
the
great.
$100?
It's great, but this is the same thing I could have pulled from the internet.
Oh, I thought this is what, I thought you had done.
No, that's what we paid
No,
$100
this is what
for.
we paid $100.
Yeah.
Is this
Okay.
one of
Which is
the
three-
proposals? I just saw this one for $45 a blog. Is that-
Yeah, they're
Okay.
starting to come in.
Sure.
Yeah. But that's up to you.
I don't have a problem with it if you're comfortable, if you think time-wise, you know, that you can handle it. I don't doubt that you can't write it. I mean, I thought, yeah,
Yeah, and if they're,
you know, I just,
Okay.
you know.
Sure, there's less.
but that's, I mean, like I said, you know, and if there comes a point in time where I can't
Or
handle
we
it,
can
I'll be glad to bring it back to the
Start with
board.
summer, and if we decide later on it's
We
too
can go
much or
further.
whatever, we can
Yeah.
take another step.
But that's
We can
just
do
an
that.
option I wanted to give you guys, so.
Well, just as a concern to me is like every time we come back, it's more of a cost within budget. And I know we're trying new things
Mhm.
and
Right.
it's great. We gotta see what's working first and quit spending money until we.
And
know it's
I'll tell you, I was
working.
really impressed with her
Mhm.
presentation.
Mhm.
She did a really good job. I understood almost everything she said. The, you know, what she had on the screen, the information before us helped, and she just answered a lot of my questions before I had a chance to ask them, so.
And she's been very helpful for me to work with on an individual basis.
That makes me want to not take money away from that,
Mhm.
because it sounds as if it is working,
Well,
it's
it's really
doing,
helpful.
exactly, it's doing what we want it to do. So, you know, is that something we're gonna vote on?
Yeah, if you guys,
tonight?
yeah, we need a.
Or do you think we need full board, or?
We don't need a full board, we just need a motion, and this is something we discussed before, so
Okay.
just a motion to either approve it and some or do it without.
Motion at summer.
Be shackled to words.
And if I have a second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Any items from the board? No. Okay, our next
Speaking
regular
like that.
scheduled TDA meeting is Monday, April the 14th at 5:30, Town Hall, of course. And if we can have a motion to adjourn?
A motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you guys. Spit out, I'm so. Cool. Thank you, have a great night.
gonna be a longer one.
Before 6 o'clock.
I thought the presentation was gonna go long.
She did good.
She did it, she did it.